Hello guys, welcome to this new video. My name is Eric Patterson. Today I'm going to show you how to manage Jenkins agent, right? Jenkins build agent in Jenkins file. So we'll basically tell you the type of Jenkins agent that we can call in our Jenkins file. This is very important to know, and if you are familiar with Jenkins, it's always good to know how to manage those agents. Before we continue the video, please take time to subscribe if you are not subscribed in our channel. Please go ahead to subscribe so that you don't miss any of our upcoming video. So let's go deep in the presentation. So before we start, we need to ask ourselves, for example, what is a Jenkins agent, right? So formally, you guys need to know something. Those agents are formally called slave, for example. So used to be called slave. Now people say agent because it makes it more a little bit appropriate. Those are just agent that Jenkins call at build time, right? When Jenkins need to do something, Jenkins will actually call those agent. Jenkins will use those agent, and there are two type of agent, right? There are internal agent, which is the built-in agent that Jenkins use, and there are external agent. And there are two type of external agent. For example, you have the static agent, which is the one is configured under the node. Those are static agent, meaning the agent that run 24/7. They are virtual machine. They can also be containers. And Jenkins call those containers, for example, at build time, or call those virtual machine at build time to offset the job. I have some that are dynamic agent, right? It's also called on demand. They can be containers. They can be also virtual machine. If you can check, I will put the link on, or you can check our YouTube channel. Basically, I show you guys how to configure a static agent and also how to configure a dynamic agent. So now we need to call those agents. All those agents have a name, and we can properly call them. When we are creating those agents, there are possibility to assign name like label, and we can properly go ahead and, for example, call those agents. So those are what is called Jenkins agent. And today I'm just going to walk you guys through about how usually we use those Jenkins agent when we are writing, for example, our pipeline, our Jenkins file. If you are not familiar with Jenkins file, there's a video that I published about Jenkins file. I think it's a 1 hour video that will walk you through all the step and all the element that you need to go ahead and basically write a Jenkins file. Good. Now, this is a sample Jenkins file. This is a sample Jenkins file. And usually what we go ahead to do is that we go ahead and actually add the agent, right? We go ahead and actually add the agent. Usually the agent is here. Right after the pipeline, you will see the agent. Now here it says agent any. What does it mean, agent any? Agent any basically means that Jenkins can basically use all the agent out there available to run this pipeline, right? Agent any just tell Jenkins that, hey, use any agent available out there to run this pipeline. So Jenkins will go ahead and pick up any next available agent to run this pipeline. And that those agents need to be agent with the what is say use this node as much as possible, right? So that's the first thing. That's the first. So if you say agent any, basically you are telling Jenkins, feel free to use any agent. Basically what happened is that sometimes there are agents that are specific to certain type of job. You might have agents that are just there to run like Ansible role or Ansible playbook. You might have agents that are just there to build like Docker images and push to either Nexus ACR or Nexus ACR, for example. You may have agent, for example, that are there to like, those are like a run build tool, like a Maven, for example, run build tool like MS Build, like also for like Gradle or like a Go, like Go build, stuff like that, NPM build. So it depends on what you're trying to do. And sometimes people have agent for like deployment, right? They have special agent that they call to deploy probably in production, right? So it just depends, and it will depend on what you are trying to do. So sometimes agents are just specific for something, for like a specific task. And if you say agent any, you are basically telling Jenkins that hey, check all the agent that you can use, and if you see any next available agent that accept to take this job, go ahead and use that agent. That's basically what agent need means. There are also another type of agent. There's also another type of agent. It's called agent none. What is agent none, right? Agent none just basically tells Jenkins that, hey, just use the built-in agent, because Jenkins by default comes with a built-in agent, right? We call it built-in node. Jenkins by default comes with a built-in node. So you basically tell Jenkins that only use the built-in node, right? That's the meaning of agent none, right? So, and the built-in node is actually located on the Jenkins master. It is not an external agent, right? Only use the built-in node. This basically you're telling Jenkins, hey, go ahead, but only use the built-in node. That's the equivalent of agent none. And we have another type of agent, which is the same. Now, sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, agents have name. Those names are labeled. So sometimes you can call a specific agent. If a label production was assigned to an agent, you can specifically call that agent, right? Now, I want you I wanted to pay attention to something is that, which maybe I probably forgot to mention earlier. If you call an agent here on top, for example, if you call an agent here, that agent is a default agent for all the stages. Any agent, should that be none, should that be any, or should that be agent with a label, and the label can be anything here. If you put an agent here, it is a default agent for every single stage, right? Any agent that is put here, that is passed here, is used as as an agent for every single stage, meaning that this agent will be used for the checkout stage, the build stage, the test stage, and the deploy stage. Now, let's go back into the agent level production, meaning that Jenkins will go out there and look for any agent that carry the label production. That's what it means. So Jenkins will only assign this job to agents that carry the label production. You can have multiple agent carrying the label production, or you can have a single label carrying the label production. Now, if Jenkins does not see any agent carry the label production, Jenkins will not move forward with this job. One more time. If Jenkins does not see an agent out there carrying the label production, Jenkins will not do anything to this job. So be careful when you're assigning label, and be careful when you're calling those label. Before you call an agent, before you tell Jenkins to specifically use a label to call an agent, make sure that you have verified that there are agent having, for example, that label. Now, another type of agent is actually in Jenkins, you can call containers as dynamic agent, right? You can call container as on-demand or dynamic agent. Now, you can call a container. If you call a container, so basically here we are telling Jenkins that, hey, go ahead and start a node 14. Go ahead, pull the node 14 image, actually start a container with that node 14 and run the job inside that container instead. So here you want Jenkins to go ahead and run the job inside that container. That is why it's going to say agent Docker image node 14. So you can put any image. The image can be Maven, the image can be Golang, the image can be anything here, depending on what you want to do. CentOS, Ubuntu, Python, it just depends on what you want to do. So, right, and I use this a lot because I like this. It's really like easy. Container are light, portable. So I use this a lot. So far we have covered the agent any, which means that Jenkins can actually build the job on any agent that is available and accept to take the job. We have the agent none, which basically tell Jenkins that, hey, you can go ahead and only build this job on the master, and the master will be using the default built-in agent. And then we have the agent Docker. We are telling Jenkins to basically start a Docker container, and we provide the image and run the job inside the Docker container, for example, instead. So that's the meaning of those. And then we say that any agent that we called here on top will be the default agent for all the stages here. So the next thing that we are going to talk about, let's assume that, for example, you have a Jenkins file, you say agent any, and on the build stage, you said agent label production. Now, the agent any is applicable to all the stages here except the build stage, because by default, any agent that you call here will be the agent used on every single stage. Technically, it should be the agent for the stage checkout, build, test, and deploy. But on the build stage, you have actually asked Jenkins to use a specific agent with the label production. So Jenkins, when Jenkins will actually start, we pick an agent to run this job here. Then when Jenkins get to this job, he will actually call an agent with the label production. Then Jenkins will now keep going and look for the next available agent that is free to pick this stage and run and keep going on. So only on this stage, so you condition this stage to go ahead and only run on a specific agent, right? You condition that stage to only go ahead and run on the specific agent. You can also, and you can condition multiple stage, right? You can condition multiple stage. Like for example, here, we are telling Jenkins, hey, go ahead and run this stage only on the agent that match the label production. And we're basically telling Jenkins also that go ahead and run this stage on specifically labeled that specifically Docker container that match the label node, for example, right? It's gonna do that for node. So then this one will be run with any available agent. So you can condition stage with agent, right? You can actually condition state with agent. Now, so that's how agents are being managed, or agent are being, that's the logic behind agents actually in the Jenkins file. So you can either put an agent here. When you put an agent here, it becomes a global agent, or you can actually constrain an agent on the stage. We call that the in-stage agent, right? And remember that agent, it can be typed, an agent can be typed any, none, or basically Docker, right? You have some agent also that will be the object of the next video, like their Kubernetes agent. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, go ahead and subscribe. See you on the next video. And don't forget to also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. It was a pleasure having you guys around. Thank you.